All right, what is going? What is happening? How is everybody doing today? My name is Chuck, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today, fellas, we're going to be hopping into my top 5 most overpowered classes you guys can use here in Warzone. Raven has been putting out an existential amount of updates here to buff and nerf certain guns, and we'll actually, more specifically, just nerf a whole bunch of different weapons to kind of bring stuff all in line with each other. Now that we have Vanguard weapons, Cold War guns, and of course, the original Modern Warfare guns all in Warzone, that's a lot of different combinations and a lot of things to balance, and so they've been doing a lot of work to be able to make sure everything is good to go. Though I'm not gonna lie, there are some questionable tuning touches, so we're gonna be going through here today and of course giving you guys the best loadouts you guys can use. So if you guys enjoy the video, make sure you guys go and drop a like on it. That'd be awesome, and as well as subscribe, all notifications turned on. I'm on the road to 800,000 subscribers. Okay, first things first, here we're gonna be hopping into the STG. Absolutely love the STG as a primary assault rifle. So let's get this here. First thing on this is gonna be the MX silencer, sound suppression and accuracy. This is gonna negatively affect our ADS speed, but that is okay. We're not really trying to go for too much else. I mean, I like to have my AR suppressed, and we only have the option of the MX or the Mercury, and we don't want to lose our damage range here on this gun, so we're definitely not going to go for that. After that, in the barrel section, we're going to be running the VDD 760mm 05B barrel. This is going to make us highly accurate and controllable recoil, reduce scope sway and gun bob, and of course increase our damage range. And it says it's going to have a few different cons in here, but like I said, we're not trying to, make this gun like super agile and mobile. We're trying to make this thing pretty much just, like a long range AR, medium to long range gun that we can be reliable with, or we can feel like we can rely on. So that's why we're going to be using this barrel. After that, though, in the under barrel section, we're using the Carver foregrip here for recoil control and hipfire accuracy. This works out pretty nicely. I have seen people run the M1941 hand stop. You guys can try between the Carver and the M1941, see what you feel is going to be the best one. A lot of people tend to try different things out and see if it works for them, because I mean, with having 10 attachments on a gun, you can go through a lot of different combinations, so there's gonna be more than one best thing out there, but I definitely recommend the Carver or the M1941 hand stop. After that, in the magazine section, we're gonna go with the 8mm Kurz 60 round drum magazine. I've gone back and forth between the 60 round drum and of course the .30 Russian 45 round magazine. This gives you more damage and all that stuff, and more bullet velocity, range, and penetration. But I actually do really like having the Kurz 60 round drum magazine. I don't know what it is about this thing. I am a 60 round magazine kind of guy, but it just seems like that this works a little bit better. It's more controllable, and you tend to hit more of your shots, whereas this one you're going to be kind of a little bit out of luck because the bullet, the bounce on this gun is just kind of a little bit insane, so you're not going to be that effective at the range you should be. So the Kurz 60 round is probably going to be the best thing for you guys to do. Down the ammunition side of things, though, we're going to be running the lengthened bullet round type, because this is going to increase our bullet velocity. This is going to make it so that our bullets hit faster. They obviously get to the target faster, because everything is a projectile in Warzone. It's not hit scan, so it's not like it immediately comes out the end of your gun and immediately hits the other person. It does have obviously bullet velocity, and it takes time to be able to get there, so we're trying to increase that as much as possible. With lengthen, that's gonna be the best one out there. After that, in the rear grip section, we got the leather grip here for increased ADS speed and aiming stability. You don't have any cons here, so that is fantastic. In our optic section, we have the G16 2.5 times for 2.5 times magnification, accuracy. It's a compact scope and increased recoil control. I didn't really realize it actually did recoil control for this, but that's definitely a good thing. You really can't complain too much about that. It's probably like my favorite optic to use here on any of the Vanguard assault rifles, much like the VLK-310's optic is for the Modern Warfare weapons, and the Axial Arms is for the Cold War guns. So that's going to be that. After that, in the stock section, we're in the VDD 27 Precision stock for horizontal recoil control and aim down sight speed. So that's definitely a banger attachment. Then to finish this whole thing off here in the perk, we have Focus for our increased flinch resistance. Vital really doesn't do all that much, to be honest with you guys, and I would definitely recommend to run flinch resistance. They're updating this game so much and messing with so much stuff that I would just recommend running flinch to kind of just play it safe, because Vital may work, it may not work, it may be broken, it may not be broken. It's kind of one of those things that they continuously mess up. So just run Focus and you'll be totally good to go. And for our last thing here, we're running fully loaded, because there's not really anything else in here that I think is better. When there was like a double weapon XP glitch where you could pretty much get quad XP, this would have been really good to run, but it's not a thing really anymore. So I would just say to run fully loaded, and that's gonna be that. This is my full STG build. Hope you guys do enjoy this one. Definitely a top tier AR you guys should be trying out. I like using the brand new stuff, so hope you guys do enjoy this one. Now we have to jump into a tried and true favorite. That's gonna be the OTS 9. The OTS is pretty interesting because they nerfed this thing. They try to nerf like all the Cold War stuff, but I mean the OTS is still so good. So let's give you all a build here for this thing. So first thing, cruise suppressor. We got to keep it very simple. Sound suppression, vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, of course effective damage range. Pretty much what they did to this gun is they gave it a tad bit more recoil, made it feel, I guess, a little bit less stable. but realistically it does virtually nothing and the gun still melts incredibly fast. It's still probably one of the best SMGs in the game right now, so I definitely recommend running it and of course using this attachment. Next up in the barrel section, you got the 8.1 task force. I mean, this has been the go-to barrel ever since we've ever made a build for this gun. I mean, you just always have to use the task force barrel, so there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. That has not changed since that patch. After that, the underbarrel section, we're skipping that, going to the magazine. The VDV 40 round fast mag, you just need the 40 round fast mag on this thing because that NAS 40 round magazine is just not nearly fast enough on that reload. It says this is going to negatively affect your ADS speed, and of course the fast mag will more so negatively affect your ADS speed, but everybody and their moms can be running around with the fast mag, so if you don't, have a reload fast enough for a secondary, I mean, you're going to be kind of out of luck, and that's just going to chalk out your chances of survival way more. So I would recommend a fast mag over a not fast mag any day of the week. Now in the rear grip section, we have the Serpent wrap here for increased ADS time. That's always good. It says negatively affects our sprint to fire, but don't worry about that. With our last attachment, we'll take care of it. And we have in our stock section, we have the KGB skeletal stock here, ADS firing move speed, aim, walking, movement speed, and sprint to fire time. This is a classic setup here for the OTS-9. I absolutely love it. You guys should definitely go and try this out. It is fantastic. Still a really, really good SMG. I love using this. I tried this out earlier just because I want to see if it's still good, and yep, sure enough, it is. Now let's jump into an SMG that I personally really like here for Vanguard. That's going to be the MP40. I got a banger set up for you guys, so let's do this one. First thing in that muzzle category, that Mercury silencer, sound suppression and recoil control. This says it's going to negatively affect your damage range, but that's okay. We're not really trying to lengthen our damage range too much here. We're more concerned with making this gun lethal at very, very close range, and having a little bit more recoil control and sound suppression is definitely a good thing. Now in the barrel section, we're running the Krausnik 317mm 04B barrel for highly accurate and controllable reduced scope sway and gun bob. I don't know why they says gun bob, but anyway, this is pretty much your barrel. It's going to make it so that you have less recoil, which is definitely a good thing. So after that, we're going to go down to the underbarrel section. We're on the Carver foregrip here for recoil control and hipfire accuracy. This is an SMG, so we definitely need to make sure we have decent hipfire accuracy. I mean, occasionally you're going to hipfire. I don't really recommend it all that much, but occasionally you will hipfire, so it's always good to be able to have that there. It says negatively affects your ADS speed, but don't worry about that. After that, in the magazine section, we have the 7.62 Gorenko 45 round magazine. And I'll tell you guys this right now. It says this gives you recoil control and accuracy, movement speed, aim down sight speed, and fire rate. But what it does kind of negatively affects your damage, bullet penetration, bullet velocity, and range. And I'll say this right now. I've tried out every single thing else right now. I've tried the 9mm, I've tried the 8mm. I just genuinely say the 45 round magazine hits different. It hits unbelievably hard, and I love it. So if I was you guys, I'd really suggest trying the Gorenko 45 round mag as I was frying with it, and I'll have a dedicated video on the MP40 here very soon because this gun is just elite. So definitely try this out. After that, though, in the ammunition side of things, we're running Incendiary on it because Incendiary is really annoying. Pretty much what it does is, even though it gives you negative bullet velocity and damage range, it makes it so that whenever you're in those close quarter situations and you're chasing somebody down, if you hit them with Incendiary, it pretty much prevents them from plating up because it continuously burns them. So while somebody would be running away from you normally trying to plate up, they can't plate up, which means that you're probably going to catch up to them and be able to take them out, and it's just going to really annoy them. And that's why Incendiary is like, that's the only reason to run them is because they're just genuinely annoying. So there's just nothing really else in here. I'd love to tell you guys run something else, but Incendiary is just gonna be the best thing out there. So that's that. Now in the rear grip section, we have the fabric grip here, ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, and hipfire accuracy. Definitely kind of like a stipple grip tape in my opinion for some of like the Modern Warfare guns. It's always good. You really can't go wrong with this thing. Now in the optics section, the Krausnik ISO1M, pretty much the large set of iron sights. You can definitely run this, or if you want to, you can run the slate reflector. Those are going to be my two options, my two choices. You get, I guess, more of like an ADS like benefit actually by using the iron sights as opposed to slate reflector. So that's always a good thing. The iron sights are really easy to use, so I definitely kind of recommend to use this. But you really can't go wrong, like I said, either way by using this or the slate reflector. So just kind of throw on like whatever, it's a little bit personal preference in that regard. Now in the stock section, what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna throw on the remove stock, and it's a bit unfortunate though because this is a really good stock, but this variant specifically, it kind of shocks it because you have this beautiful blue looking stock right here, but it's just not that good for this build. So you have to put the remove stock on here, and it's like, okay, well that shocks the entire way this gun looks. That's a bit, not fun. I really wish my variants actually stayed looking like good variants, but whatever. So we got the remove stock on this thing. Now we got the perk of steady. That's going to be our ADS firing move speed increase, which is good. That's going to make you a little bit more agile, a little bit more mobile in those close quarter situations. You'll be flying around people. I definitely been doing it here today. And then also in the perk section, we got quick here for our sprint speed. And I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to be running. You're going to be flying across the map. It's going to be kind of nuts. This is a banger build here. Hopefully you guys do enjoy this one. Give it a shot. Give it a try. It is really, really good. Now let's take a look at a gun that actually did get nerfed here, and that's gonna be the Cooper Carbine, but still incredibly good. So let's give you guys a setup for to maximize the stopping power of this gun. So first thing in here in the muzzle category, we got the recoil booster on to increase our fire rate. They're trying to make this thing hit a little bit less hard. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna increase that fire rate to the maximum capacity, and that's gonna be what the recoil booster is gonna do. We love to see that. Now in the barrel section, we got the 22 Cooper custom barrel for highly accurate and controllable recoil, reduced scope, sway, and gun bob, and then it, of course, increases our fire rate. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1. You get a really long range barrel, and then of course it increases your fire rate. So can't complain about that one. Now in the underbarrel section, you got the M3 ready grip here for increased ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, and aim walking movement speed. It says negatively affects your recoil control, but this gun has pretty little recoil, to be honest with you, just because of the type of ammunition we're going to be using. So speaking of that, in the magazine, we got the 9mm 60 round drum. This also increases your fire rate and everything, but it's going to help out with your recoil control and accuracy, largely because this is a smaller caliber round. So this is going to be geared towards making this an SMG, not an AR, though I would still suggest running this as, if you're trying to use it as an AR, just switch out a couple attachments. You just pretty much want to run this magazine kind of entirely anyways. I don't really find there to be a benefit to run anything else. It's not really going to be all that great if you do so. So always run the 9mm 60 round drum. Now, in the ammunition side of things, we got the compressed rounds in here. This is once again also going to boost our fire rate. We're trying to really max this thing out here and make it kill super quick. So that's why we're going to be running the compressed rounds on this thing, not like the incendiaries or anything else like that, or hollow point or frangible. So definitely run the compressed on that. Now in the rear grip section, we got the fabric grip here, which is pretty much like the stipple grip tape, like I said beforehand. This is going to negatively impact our accuracy, but that is okay. We're not really too worried about that. Now in the optic section, we got the slate reflector, as this guy doesn't really have any sort of like iron sight type thing you can use, like, an attachment for iron sights. I just recommend running the slate, as it's going to make your, your sights unbelievably clear, and we love to be able to hit our shots and be able to see what we're shooting at. So that's a good thing. Now in the stock section, we got the remove stock here, movement speed, sprint to fire speed, aim down sight speed. Always a good thing, making us more mobile when we're trying to use this as an SMG, even though this is technically an AR. We're going to be using this. Now for our perks though, we have tight grip for our accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. We kind of had some attachments in there that weren't always going to be as beneficial towards our accuracy, so that's why we're running tight grip. If you guys really want to, you can potentially run something like maybe brace or even vital, but I would definitely say that brace or tight grip is going to be the best thing out there for this gun right now. I haven't tried vital too much, and I really don't have too many friends running vital, so I'd recommend tight grip or brace. And then for our final thing here, running fully loaded, because this gun, I mean, you're going to burn through a lot of ammo, and it's always good, no matter when you come into the game to get your loadout, you have full ammunition. So that is awesome. This is my tried and true, my good Cooper Carbine build. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Try it out. Let me know your thing down in the comment section below. And good luck. And now for our final build here, I want to give you guys an EM2 class, because they are trying to nerf some of the different, guns and everything within the updates. And so the EM2, while it is still technically getting nerfed, it is viable, which is a little bit crazy. They've just been nerfing so much stuff. So what's happening is here, muzzle, agency, suppressor. This is going to be the best suppressor out there. We do not mess with the regular one. That's not going to be it. This is an AR. This is an AR suppressor. This is the SMG equivalent suppressor. So we're going to be using the AR suppressor. Now in the barrel section, we got the 25.8 task force barrel. This is of course going to give us the most amount of recoil control and boost to our effective damage range and stuff like that. So that is always going to be like the best option here. There's no other, ifs, ands, or buts about it. You always have to use the task force. Now in the underbarrel section, we got the field agent grip here, horizontal and vertical recoil control. Can't go wrong with this thing. I mean, you needed it beforehand, you for sure need it now. You guys are gonna have to pull down this thing a little bit, but it's just gonna be worth it to be able to use, because it hits unbelievably hard. Now in the magazine section, that 40 round magazine for increased ammo capacity, as that is going to be, that's going to be the move. You can definitely run the Stenag 50 round if you feel like you really want to do so, but for me personally, I prefer the 40 round, as I like having a tad bit more mobility, and the 40 is going to do that for me instead of the 50. I feel just a little bit too slow running the 50 round mag. And then finish out this whole build here, we got the action alarms 3 times, as this is going to be my favorite optic to ever run on a Cold War AR. This thing used to be really chalked and have some terrible recoil, like some visual recoil, but ever since they updated a long time ago, the action alarm's just been the go-to. So I would highly recommend you guys do this. This is my full build here for the M2. Definitely give it a shot. Tell what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this loadout video, give it a like, subscribe if you are brand new, and just for an notification cap, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.